on this issue, we are delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Raouf Gaafar, the political analyst. Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening, my dear.
So, Doctor, addressing the OIC meeting, Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati held the Israeli occupation fully responsible for the continued war and for ignoring the mediators' attempts to bring back calm in the region. How does Egypt's condemnation reflect its concerns about regional stability?
Egypt has always been concerned with the brothers and sisters of Gaza and the Palestinians in general. And we have the President, the government, the Minister of Foreign Affairs have all repeatedly requested the Israeli government to come to their senses and stop the atrocities, and apparently they don't listen, and they do exactly what they have in mind. An agenda that they are, executing, and they don't hear except themselves. We all know that this agenda is based on some personal issues that the Prime Minister of Israel has, and that is why he's not listening. But it does not mean that Egypt will stop. On the contrary, we will continue making our voice very loud, explaining our situation and crying for a just settlement of the crisis. That's all. But this address of our minister comes as a continuation of similar addresses that took place before, and maybe future addresses that will be in the same context, hoping that one day the Israelis will come to their senses and listen to the world.
So, Doctor, putting into consideration the public pressure and public condemnation of the Israeli atrocities, so how might this public condemnation impact the ongoing negotiations for a ceasefire and hostage deal, and that Egypt and Qatar are mediating?
Well, I mean, any condemnation exerts a little more pressure. So every time we condemn, it means that we are gathering more voices, and we are making clear to the whole world that we insist that a just ending of this dilemma should come to. And I mean, of course, it helps, as I say, gathering more consensus from countries, not only in the region, but all over the world, and hoping to have an effect on the Israeli government, especially that have been sensing lately some unrest within the Israeli community. Part of them are not in agreement with what is happening, and they, from their side, exert internal pressure. So, I mean, it always helps to increase the pressure on the government of Israel, as I say, to come and reach a reasonable ending of the situation.
So despite all of these efforts and condemnation and efforts to reach a ceasefire, Israel is insisting on committing atrocities and insisting on escalations in the West Bank as well. How do you see these recent developments in the West Bank?
I said before, and I repeat it, I think this is a personal issue that Mr. Netanyahu has.
Yes.
He knows that his political future is tied with this war, and the minute he stops the atrocities and he stops the war, his future, political future, and even personal future becomes in jeopardy, and he doesn't want this, of course. That is why he's continuing it without thinking of anything except his personal future. And this is what makes things from bad to worse. But as I say, one of these days hopefully very soon, under pressure, he will see it and he will let go, and things will get better, hopefully.
Yes, Doctor, hopefully. So how does Israel typically respond to the accusations, and what is its narrative regarding responsibility for Gaza's humanitarian deterioration or deteriorating situation?
Well, I mean, Israel, as a matter of fact, never listened to their to any condemnation, to any voice of wisdom all over the world. They do what they please. They don't listen to anybody, and that is why we say that keeping pressure at all times might make them change their mind. But we're used to the Israeli position not listening to anybody and committing atrocities regarding what the whole world thinks. Again, one has to be wishful and optimistic, and wish our, as I say, brothers and sisters in Gaza and in Palestine in general, a future that
so,
is,
Doctor, to what extent, Doctor, to what extent are you optimistic about reaching a ceasefire?
I beg your pardon?
To what extent are you optimistic about reaching a ceasefire?
Well, one has to be optimistic at all times. We have gone very close to a ceasefire before, and maybe it stopped for a few hours. But we hope this time, as I say, maybe again, if we exert pressure, Qatar, Egypt, etc., maybe if the United States they join us, which again, that's why we are optimistic. We feel that Mr. Trump is a little bit hesitant about full support, and he might call for a ceasefire and call for an ending of the situation. That is what we're hoping. But we can not accept being optimistic and wish for the best, of course.
Yes, Doctor, to what extent do you see the pressure by the Israeli inside and the demonstrations and protests in Israel? To what extent are these demonstrations and pressure influential on the current situation?
Of course it is influential. Of course it has some impact on the situation in general, and it will help. I mean, pressure from the outside with the manifestation and the objections from the inside will definitely result into more and more pressure and more sort of load on the Israeli Prime Minister. And I always keep saying Prime Minister because the cabinet itself is divided between people that are looking for ending this situation and other people that are following the Prime Minister blindly. So inside and outside, probably it will have a bigger impact on the current situation. To the best, of course.
Hope we will be able to reach a ceasefire soon. Thank you so much, Dr. Raouf Gaafar, the political analyst, for your information and valuable insight. And dear viewers, we will have a short break and we'll be right back.